Before we get started, did you see the grasshopper-legged outlaw guy?
You know, that video just blew up in like a couple of days. Someone posted it in a mothership, and then all of a sudden, like 100 people sent it to me on Twitter, and then other people started posting it all over the place. And I watched it once, and I was the total amount of times I need to watch that.
What? Is this old? Is this new?
I think it's new.
I don't know if the people out there, we love the people. I don't know if everybody might know about this, but apparently, maybe you have more background. I'll tell you what I know. I see video on the Twitter machine of a ring. Obviously, I think it was pretty much a do-it-yourself hand-built ring in somebody's backyard. There's a referee in the ring. There's 3 or 4 people on the other side of the ring. I don't know if there was actually a crowd there or if this was just folks having fun in the backyard. A guy they're playing NWO music, right, for this guy's entrance. And it's just a stationary camera shot. So he walks into the camera and he gets in the ring, and I didn't have long to see what his physical condition was before it changed rapidly. But it looked to me like he was like a miniature version of Crusher Blackwell. He had a big belly, little short legs, not very thick, as we'll find out. And whatever. And I think he had a belt over his shoulder. And he gets in the ring and he gets up on the second rope to acknowledge that. You hear, what was it? Would you think there had to be 10 or 12 people there by the amount of cheering? And he acknowledges these cheers, and then he does the Glenn Kulka. I've told this story, former Canadian Football League player, trained in developmental, makes a shot in his hometown, one of his, big debut. They play the music. He jumps off the ropes just like this, and he lands and he breaks his leg. That was Glenn Kulka, 280-pound, built like a brick shithouse, fucking former Canadian Football League player. This guy jumps off the second rope, turns around, and lands flat-footed in the middle of this homemade ring. And I didn't even know that this was an injury that could happen if you tried. But both of his legs at the knee at the exact same time bent in the opposite direction. His knees bent backwards instead of forwards, the direction under which nature intended it. It's hard to even describe this. And that's what Shane Helms on Twitter said, a dude got grasshopper legs. Both of his knees just caved in and he dropped, and he's so fucked up as he's rolling around. His legs are flopping from the knees down, just like he's the wacky waving arm leg inflatable tube man. I can't imagine the damage what you would even have to fix in an instance like this. The scaffold match bump, I tore my ACL and tore a bunch of the cartilage. And that was just my leg going sideways, too far for the ligament, but everything else was still. Oh, do you know anything more about this? Where this was, who this was, where we should send the flowers, what's the funeral home?
I don't know any other information about it. It just popped up all of a sudden and went viral, and it was an outlaw mud show. Literally, there was mud around the ring.
And his name is Mud. And you know what? I'm sure after he came to and the drugs wore off, whatever they gave him, and, the surgeries and the cast from asshole to appetite that he's probably laying in right now, I don't know which hurts worse, the idea that he did that happened to him, or the idea that he did it to himself, probably in front of every single friend he possessed in the world.
Or the idea one of the 12 people that were there filmed it and said, "Oh, I got to share this with everyone."
Yeah, well, and did you see it? The referee just looked, just stared, and was just standing there like...
Well, just like the referees in real wrestling.
Flopping. Well, it must have been Rick Knox, right? The reanimated corpse referee from the Tim Burton production that referees over at All Friends Wrestling. And then the guy just kept filming. I mean, it was a stationary shot from a ways back, but nobody ran to help this guy. And then somebody kind of rolled in the ring about 20 seconds later and is like, "Hey, what's going on?"
Did you see the Sid injury when it happened?
Yeah, not live, but like the day after on tape or whatever. This was, that was bad. This was even more. If it can be possible, I don't even know if he would have broken any bones. Maybe the kneecaps, because this was a thing where it's just like every ligament is gone. Every tendon and ligament in the knee would have to be gone. But I think the bones just bent and just popped out of themselves. And who was the football player? Joe Theismann. I remember when that happened.
Yeah, Lawrence Taylor.
Lawrence Taylor. Yeah, I've never seen it. It was so ridiculous looking that you had to look at it a few times. I did, to make sure that somebody wasn't playing with the goddamn video editor, right? One of these deep fakes, because it just didn't seem that could be possible. And it was like a fucking 3-foot drop. It was a 3-foot fucking drop off the second rope in the ring. Anyway.
A lot of guys, I'm assuming with Sid Vicious, a lot of guys spend a lot of time in the gym working on their upper body, may not pay much attention to their legs.
No, that's not true, actually. When you see a guy with a big upper body and fucking tiny legs, you can be assured that he has exhausted every remedy for that past calf implants that some of these bodybuilders get or whatever, because that's every time I've heard guys that worked out talking to each other, if you're a bodybuilder and you got skinny bird legs, it's the first thing you think about apparently when you wake up in the morning, because that's always the thing. Yeah, but as a matter of fact, Ken Wayne worked out when he was trying to get, he was like a Bobby Eaton, and he never had a lot of muscle tone. He was a heck of a worker, athlete, whatever. But he'd do push-ups and he'd bench press and he got his upper body, but his little tiny legs. He's in the gym one day doing something, trying to work on his legs. And one of the guys said, "Hey, Ken, you better watch off them legs. You might break off and stick up your ass." Hey, I didn't know it was possible until this guy did it on video. But no, it's genetic. You've seen some guys. I remember there was a guy that worked Nelson Royal trained him in the Carolinas, Colt Steele. He was a big guy and he trained and he had a good looking upper body, but his calves were fucking massive. And I mean, like, guys like Warlord and Barbarian used to compliment him on his fucking calves. It's a genetic thing. No matter what you do or even what you take, all of your muscles, according to everything I've been told by people who do this type of thing, because now everybody's going to say, Cornette's giving us bodybuilding tips. Sometimes you just can't get the fucking arms or the legs or whatever you're to go with it. So rest assured, they don't forget those parts of their body. I can't understand I'll tell you what. If anybody in the world had the dedication to cure childhood poverty or hunger or cancer or something, as Sid did, to work out and freak out if he hadn't been working out, we'd all be better off.
Well, that poor wrestler at that Outlaw Mud show who got hurt, obviously what he was doing is living out his dream, living out his fantasy. Standing on the top rope was probably what he always dreamed of. Standing on the top rope, taking in the cheers of the crowd. It may not have gone the way he wanted, but he could always get a painting made to commemorate the moment.
That's a good idea. As a matter of fact, that's an excellent idea, because since he's never going to be able to climb those ropes and stand up and do that ever again, he could have a beautiful portrait of it I'm sure somebody took a picture. And folks, if you've got a picture of a family a member that's gone, of a family get-together where some of the people are no longer with us, or you've got multiple pictures of multiple places, things, or people that you would like to have combined, whatever, you want a custom painting for the holidays, if your family isn't going to be all together, for the holidays as gifts, a hand-painted compilation portrait from Paint Your Life is the perfect gift. We've been talking about them for months on the program here. They take photographs of your family members, friends, places you've been, even beloved pets. And they can either make a hand-painted portrait of that, or they can combine different photos, have different people in the photo or in the portrait at the same time. So it's a professional hand-painted portrait created from any picture. You just send any picture of yourself, your kids, your family, special place, the whole 9 yards, or the pictures you want combined. You choose from a team of world-class artists that they've got, and you work with them on the details, and then you get your custom-made, hand-painted portrait. It takes about 3 weeks. It's quick and easy, and you can either make it a holiday gift for somebody that you love or yourself, or if there's somebody out there that hates your stinking guts and you really want to mess with them, get a painting of yourself and send it to them. Whatever. For the holidays, for any days, paintyourlife.com. There's no risk. If you don't love the final painting, your money is refunded, guaranteed. And right now, as a limited time offer, just because we know people around here, 20% off the painting and free shipping if you text the word DRIVE, DRIVE, to 64,000. That's 64 and 3 zeros. Text DRIVE to 64,000. Paint your life. Celebrate the moments that matter most. Brian, I know, as a matter of fact, you have commissioned a painting that you can put in your office there that's going to inspire you of your most beloved place on earth, the outside perimeter of the New York Stock Exchange.
That's not necessarily my happiest place, but yes, it'll be a picture of me and my certificates of Berkshire Hathaway Class A stock. Will be hanging on the walls right here.
I understand that people at Paint Your Life talked to you and you were the first customer that they ever turned down because you were a complete idiot.
Some people want them to paint someone else's life.
You know, as a matter of fact, that would be an idea. Paint somebody, find somebody with a life you'd have rather had than yours and paint that life. No, all right. Anyway, but the folks at Paint Your Life, we Josh and we Kid, our fine sponsors here on the program. But Paint Your Life is a real deal, folks.